Okay, so The Last of Us Season 2. Now, I'm testing out this new, for me at least, format of just doing a commentary as I watch the new episode or whatever, because I have found that I really only want to do a complete and full analysis if it's something that I either really care about or profoundly hate. With The Last of Us, it's like it's neither. I kind of don't care about it. I'm only watching it because first of all, I invested the time to watch the first season, so it's like I don't want this to have been for nothing. And the second reason, it's contemporary, meaning that I can use it to shield for views. So here I go. Let's just watch and see what happens. Oh, there we go. The intro is about that pivotal last moment from the first season where he killed a whole bunch of people to save her, and then her kind of smelling that he is lying or whatever, and we're getting off from there. Now, I have to be frank, I had forgotten about this at all. And I had forgotten about generally what happens in the series because The Last of Us for me was unremarkable in the sense that, yes, it should be exciting because it's a zombie show or whatever, with a zombie storyline type like The Walking Dead, of which I was a fan and not anymore. So in theory, it should excite me. But this one, The Last of Us, didn't excite me. I just watched it and I was like, fine, it's good, whatever. Then I forgot about it. And I think the reason is it, in theory, was an apocalypse dystopia slash zombie film show, but to me it didn't feel like it because how often did we see the fucking zombies or whatever, or the mushroom monsters or whatever the fuck they were? We saw them not very often, and it made me feel like they were not a significant part in the show itself. And it's mostly about the people drama, which if I have to bitch about that, The Walking Dead was kind of the same, and I was a huge fan of that. I think the first 5 seasons were a masterpiece, or maybe 4, I don't know, because of the people drama in it. I love the character interactions in it. I love the character drama in it. I love the character of Rick and how he became sort of a monster to preserve himself and his child. And basically the psychological experiment, if you will, of what happens when you are prompted to become animalistic. When you have no choice but to become evil, let's say a murderer or something. Do you do it? Do you become one? And how do you become one? Does that mean that you become completely unhinged and psychopathic? Or does that mean that you become a combination of a monster and an angel, meaning a good person and a bad person who does evil things to save the ones he loves and is also a wonderful human being to the ones he loves? So anyway, I got a bit off track. There was the human drama element in The Walking Dead and I loved it, and there's the human drama element in this one too, The Last of Us. But somehow I feel that, and I'm not sure to what extent the zombie element was present in The Walking Dead and if it's more or less than it is here in The Last of Us. But in this one, in The Last of Us, I think it's too absent. And I basically forget that it's a zombie apocalypse story. And I'm like, so they're walking in the woods and they're like finding encampments and getting together with different types of people. And my brain kind of forgets what they're running away from. I forget that it's about zombies, actually. And I'm reminded about it in like every couple of scenes where you actually get to see some kind of a mushroom monster. So in this sense, I have a bit of a problem with this show. And again, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great for me. It was fine. I enjoyed it. And I suppose I'll keep enjoying it. But let me prepare you, for the fans of the show who watch me for some reason, I will not be the biggest fan of it. And I have to say, I have not seen the source material, meaning I haven't played the game because I'm I'm too old for fucking games. I played for just a little bit at a friend's house. He just wanted to show it to me, and I played a little bit of the intro, where they get the initial signals of the zombie apocalypse or whatever, and he's running away with his daughter, and she gets killed or whatever. And I played it for a bit, and it was like, I don't get it. I don't like this game so much, and I bet you it's not because the game was shit or whatever. Maybe it's amazing. It's just that at the time, I already was the kind of person who is too much of a boomer type of millennial to actually enjoy games, because at that point, they all seemed the same to me. I used to be a gamer when I was in high school or whatever. I played all of the Lord of the Rings games, Star Wars games, Age of Empires, Civilizations, all kinds of crap I used to play when I was a teenager, and a little bit in my 20s. But for the last, 10 years, maybe 15, I don't know. I don't play games at all, and when I do get to play them, I get reminded of why I stopped loving them. Because at some point, they all started looking the same to me. The same, missions, the ssame action sequences, the same movements you can do, the same campaigns or whatever. They just became bland, and I grew out of them. And I don't mean to say by growing out of them, I don't mean to say that if you're old, middle-aged, or elderly or whatever, and you still enjoy playing games, that's completely fine. They're an art form. There's masterpieces in this this art form, you can enjoy them. I'm completely fine with it. They're just not for me at this point. Anyway, let's just keep watching. So yeah, I have not experienced the source material, so I don't have this basis when watching this show. I'm only judging it by the show itself. And after this tirade, so we start off with this episode where we dropped off in the first season of him lying about massacring people for her and her kind of sensing it. And I had totally forgotten about that, which can tell you how much I cared about this show. Again, I loved it. I mean, I liked it, but it didn't stay with me. So if I'm not like overly enthusiastic now, don't judge me. Oh yeah, something else that I remembered. So as the first season was coming out, I remember there being backlash for the casting of Bella Ramsey, sorry, I forgot her name, that she wasn't suitable for the role. And to those people, I say, you're idiots. She's just fine. She's a great actress. I only know her from Game of Thrones. Maybe she's been in other things now, I don't know. But in The Last of Us, she was fine. The problem that I have is with her character being, how should I say it, trying too hard to be awesome. It's like the sister character in Severance. Just cursing all the time, which supposedly makes her look, I don't know, psychologically older than she is, hence more awesome, which I do not agree with this equivalence. And so her being overly badass, quote unquote, in the series just made it a bit annoying for me. But in terms of her acting skills, she's fine. She's just brilliant. I don't understand why people complain about it. Yeah, look at her. So now I remember the scene better. She is completely aware that he lied about it. And you can just sense this in her by looking at her facial expressions. And if you can say this about an actor's performance, would you say that this is a shitty actor? Of course not. She's emoting perfectly, I think. She really is brilliant for what she does. So this was a new fucking town or something? Where the fuck are they going? See what I'm saying? I don't remember anything from what happens in the last season, almost anything. And it's like, maybe I should have just watched the first season to remember what happens, but I kind of don't wanna. I'm just hoping that I'll get reminded by myself of what happens. That's a fucking giraffe. What the fuck is happening? Oh, so it's because like nature's taking over because of the apocalypse or whatever. But are these like from a zoo or something? Because isn't this in the US? If it's from the US, how the fuck did the giraffes get there? I'm guessing from a zoo maybe or whatever. Anyway, oh my god, for a second there I thought they were pissing in the graves. Okay, new characters. Words cannot describe how unexcited I am for this. Was she new? Or is she from before? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, so these are the people that he killed last season. Okay. And these are some guys that are gonna pursue revenge or something. And fireflies? What the fuck were these? I just remember the name of the group, but I have no memory what the fuck they were and what they did or whatever. Anyways, let's just keep watching. Oh, okay. So now I remembered the moral dilemma of this show was that the main character, Joel, killed a whole bunch of people to save the girl because they wanted to rip out the girl, take her blood or something, whatever the fuck it was, because she was resilient to the mushroom virus. And so the balance of morality was as to whether he did the right thing to save the girl, because it's a fucking child, or whether he did the wrong thing in saving her, because by her dying, she would have potentially saved everyone else from the virus. Which my prediction is that her death would not have saved people. She's just an anomaly for the virus that like has resilience but doesn't help anybody else, because that would be just too easy for the show. It would make for a very quick end, wouldn't it? I don't know. But yeah, at least my memory lane is working, and my method of remembering what happens as I go should be sufficient. Where do I know this actress from? Was she the Dune Reverend Mother from the new show? What was her fucking name? The young Valia Harkonnen? I think it's her. It looks like her. Oh, when we kill him slowly. And her lip twitches. I love this. A great actress. 5 years later? Why the fuck are you doing this to me? I fucking hate time jumps, especially in the future. I'm confused and not familiar enough as it is. Wait, so 5 years later, and she looks the fucking same? Have you seen what happens to teenagers in 5 fucking years? That doesn't make sense. There we go. Boom, motherfucker from a child. I mean, it's not that it's impossible. It's completely possible for children to speak like this. It's not unrealistic per se. It just annoys me. It literally is the first sentence out of her mouth this season, and she already swears. I mean, give me a fucking break. Also, he played weak on purpose to not harm her, but then why would you tell her? Whatever. Do you know what I keep wondering about? Not just this show, but any kind of apocalypse story. If you are in a story which takes place in an apocalypse, which is supposedly worldwide, meaning that world economy has stopped, production has stopped, or whatever, where do you keep getting your fucking clothes, for example? Where do you keep getting these jackets? Where do you keep getting these sweaters? Where do you keep getting your fucking pants? Because clothes, over time, deteriorate. And I guess you can, I don't know, find like batches of new ones and used. But wouldn't they just run out or like rot in the boxes? Where do you keep getting a perfect jacket, for example? This is why I can never find an honest feeling of realism in these shows. Because an all-out apocalypse means that everything that's been human-made by that point will cease to be made. And you stop like having nice clothes or a good haircut maybe, or even shaving yourself. How do they shave themselves? Where do you get like your razor blades or whatever? It just doesn't make sense to me. If there's a doomsday coming, I want to see everyone dirty, with ragged clothes, if clothes at all, hairy, just basically looking a lot more like animals. Let's keep going. Okay, so this is in Wyoming. Now, I haven't been to the US myself, so I can't really bitch about buildings looking not as they should. But the thing is, this town looks like something out of Westworld, like, I don't know, 19th century cowboy crap. Did they build this town in this style after the zombie thing happened? Or was it like this when the apocalypse hit, so it's been preserved this way? And if so, do you have like towns like this in the US nowadays, looking like that? Because look at these buildings, look at this fucking church. It looks like the town from Westworld, from the park that they used for the cowboy robots to play around in. And it's like, again, this is a zombie apocalypse. And we had a time jump of 5 years or whatever the fuck it was. So where do you keep getting electricity? Where do you keep getting building materials, working machinery? How do you keep your life civilized still? I don't understand this. And I was gonna say maybe that I wasn't educated in zombie economics, but who the fuck is? Because nothing like this has happened still, so you don't have the fucking evidence of what will happen if we actually get hit by zombies. So nobody can have a realistic, quote-unquote, estimate of what our lives will be in terms of technology and industry. So I feel like I'm justified in saying that this does not feel to me like what would actually happen in this scenario. I feel like if we do get a zombie apocalypse, things will be much, much worse. As I said, no clothing, no machines, no materials. We will just be like fucking animals living in caves, or whatever is left from the surviving infrastructure, but not being able to build anything new, except maybe a shack or something. The picture quality is so good that I can see his fucking nose hair. Wait, so Bella Ramsey's character, so she's supposed to be 19 in this? Are you kidding me? She still looks 10. Or is that just me? So like, Bella Ramsey was angry at him for killing these people in season 1. All this time, because that's like 5 years later since we had a time jump. So it's all these years, and they still haven't resolved this. And she's been angry about it this whole time? That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, he's in therapy. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's a fucking zombie apocalypse, and not only do you have clothes still, you build houses, you have electricity, you have machines, and you go to therapy. If individual communities across the states would be able to this extent to keep living as they would have lived before the apocalypse, how the fuck is the whole country not able to like overcome the whole situation? If you have this kind of societal power during this, how is a zombie apocalypse still going on? I don't know. It feels to me like they just wanted the human drama, but to make it more exciting, they added the zombies in the fucking background, which I guess is maybe the expected structure, so fine, but still, it feels like, again, not realistic to me. It doesn't feel like an apocalypse. Oh, okay, we finally get a fucking zombie to remind us it's actually an apocalypse. Fine, okay, I got it. Oh, so he's against refugees. How Republican of him. I bet you he'll become the new right-wing favorite now. Okay, so look at this. Look at the normal life that she's having. A house, drinks, couches or whatever. She's dyeing her hair. How is this a fucking zombie apocalypse? And how would you have a refugee problem in a small camp like this while having this many structures and this many rooms or whatever and clothes and hair dye? Again, this does not feel like an apocalypse to me. It just feels normal. And by the way, heavy makeup. In a zombie apocalypse, who the fuck would have the time or energy to think about putting on makeup? Whatever. Neither is Ellie. That is a good fucking point. I was just thinking that it's a little bit weird how this guy fetishizes fatherhood because he lost his original daughter and then transferred his feelings, his fatherly feelings, onto this unrelated girl. Weird. Sarcastic psychiatrist. This feels like they borrowed the character from like, what was it? 2.5 Men? She's just being super sarcastic and honest with them and just shitting on them and not like, kissing their asses and being enablers to their clients just because they're paying them. I like this. So he killed her husband? Who the fuck was Eugene? Was this from the first season? I don't remember. But I will say though, makeup and hair dye aside, this is a wonderful actress. And she looks familiar though. Wasn't she like the mom from Home Alone or something? If she is, good for her. And if not, still good good for her. She's a brilliant actress. Okay, so she's letting it out right now. She is pouring it all out on him about being angry at him for him killing her husband. And obviously, by the sound of it, brutally. And so fair enough. I completely understand her. What I don't understand is, at least from my own perspective, and this is not about me saying this scene is shitty or whatever. It's just that if I put myself in Joel's place, would I ever be able to go to this person for therapy knowing that I killed her husband? How does he expect her to be like fine with it, even if she's supposed to be a professional psychotherapist and morally clear as to why he did it and how he had no choice or whatever? How did he have this expectation in the first place? If I were him, I would never fucking go to this therapist because of the guilt that I'd be feeling. Meaning that if he goes to her, he doesn't have this sense of guilt, which makes him, in my eyes, kind of a piece of shit. Oh, so she made this as a truce. Her saying something she doesn't want to say to make him say out loud the thing that he did that he's afraid to reveal. Nice one. Oh, but wait, so I was wondering how in this situation of an apocalypse, he's afraid to say that he killed a bunch of people, which in this situation would be understandable. But I just got hit by the fact that if he reveals this and tells her that he killed a bunch of people, he would have to say why. And the reason he did it is because he had to save Ellie, because she is unique in that being bitten, she survived. So he needs to keep the secret because nobody else in the camp knows about it, which means that he doesn't conceal the massacre because of feeling guilty or ashamed of having killed a bunch of people. He's hiding it because he'd have to reveal the source of why he did it, which is the girl being resistant to the virus. Okay, I got it. That makes sense. Oh, and Pedro Pascal, I mean, such a wonderful actor. Look at just how his face twitches with emotion. It's like emoting brilliantly without saying any words or whatever, like Bella Ramsey did in the beginning. It's just heartbreaking in its awesome acting skills, which I have to say I did not appreciate in Game of Thrones, because there he was just bland to me. And again, being overly badass like Bella Ramsey is here, and his fake fucking accent, Dornish accent, was really off for me. It felt like it was forced. So in Game of Thrones, I didn't like him, other than the fact that he was hot, but otherwise, I didn't really care about him there. While here, he can really show off his acting skills, and they are, at least for me, immense. Okay, so but wait, if they are hiding the fact that she got bit and survived and is immune, isn't she supposed to like hide the scar on her hand? Because she has a tattoo on it, and while wrestling with the other guy in the beginning, she revealed it, so she is not hiding the scar. Then how is she hiding her immunity? Wait a minute. The guy with the beard and the long hair, isn't that the guy from the beginning of the episode where they were like sitting over the graves talking about revenge? Is that them? Did they sneak into the camp eventually? So we're gonna have like a plot twist now of camp residents just killing them because of a feud from like 5 years ago? Because that will be kind of, I don't know, cheap. Let's keep watching. Yeah, can you take things a little bit more seriously? I was thinking the same thing. I mean, it's one thing that you need to have tacky, cool characters in a show. You have to have the lovable badass. But can you give me a fucking break? Just be a little bit more serious, for fuck's sake. This is, again, a zombie apocalypse. And I'm not feeling any of it. Do you know, now that I think about it, if you think of a dystopian story where, like, the world outside is hostile and you're in a community where you have to survive, characters like this are unlikely to happen. And what is likely to happen is you get the kind of a society where maybe it's a little bit authoritarian and people are not like this jokey or whatever. And I'm reminded of, what was it, District 13 from the Hunger Games book, the third novel, Mockingjay, you know, the district where Al McCoy was in charge. And they were like a society which, again, had to survive, which were really isolated. And this isolation situation made them really, really like, I don't know, like the USSR or something, with like the chief on top and the grunts below, which are fighting to survive as one, which makes them feel and behave and look really, really lacking in fun. I don't know how else to say it. And this, in The Last of Us, people being this badass and snarky and jokey all the time, it really kills for me any kind of sensation of a world that's gone to shit. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So Ellie is gay, and they had this whole other thing about the two gay guys from the first season. I think it was a whole episode, and you know, the right-wing dipshits went ballistic about it because they're saying it's woke or whatever. I loved it. Not because it was a perfectly portrayed gay romance story, but because it was there. Because they made the fuckers take it. Because they shoved it down their throats that to have a gay relationship should be as normal as a straight one. That thing in the first season, I fucking loved. And there was this, I think it was one of the writers maybe, or someone on the crew of the show, who was like asked why they put a gay gay story in it or whatever. And he was like, well, if you have to ask me why I did it, that's exactly why I'm doing it. It's not a gay story, it's a love story, you dipshit. And I fucking love this. Please keep doing this. Just for this thing, I will praise the show. Thank you so much for this wonderful moment. Okay, so yeah, 2 teenagers breaking the rules, going off alone to check something that's potentially dangerous. I wonder what could happen. Why do I think this new girl is gonna die? And then Ellie will blame herself for it. Let's see. Okay, is this hand/knife talk supposed to be funny? I mean, it's not for me, but whatever. See how this is what I mean by misplacing humor, making it too unserious when it's supposed to be fucking serious. And I don't know, maybe people like this. I just know that I don't. It totally ruins the tension for me. Inserting stupid humor in something that's supposed to be deadly serious. Literally deadly. What does that say? If your name isn't on it, then don't eat it, please. CJ. I bet you that's some kind of a symbolic line for something that's gonna happen. Let's see. Okay, so she jumps on it physically and kills it by stabbing it in the head. Now, if it's dangerous to get bitten by it, because a bite would be infectious, wouldn't it be infectious if you, like, say, jump on it, and maybe you have an open scratch on yourself, and you touch it with the scratch or whatever? Or maybe just, I don't know, licking it by accident because you're fighting it? Wouldn't that be infectious as well? Meaning, isn't it, like, generally dangerous to even come physically close to it, not just get bitten by it? So in this sense, why would you ever attack it in any other way other than from afar? Be it with, like, I don't know, a fucking spear or a gun or whatever. Anything else except literally jumping it and giving it a hug like she just did. It doesn't make sense to me. So they killed this one and started speaking out loud. Didn't they, like, count at least 2? Meaning they what? Forgot about still one being there? There we go. And this is why you follow the fucking rules. But because it's supposed to be a fun TV show, and it's supposed to be a tacky, cool main character, of course they're gonna go off alone. Of course they're gonna get in the house alone. And of course they're gonna, like, get in a situation which is extremely dangerous. It's supposed to be shocking, but when you expect it to happen, how the fuck am I supposed to be shocked? Oh, nothing's broken, she thinks. But you fucking fell through a floor, and you made a big thump, meaning that you can attract, right away, other zombies if they're around. And still, you're speaking out loud? I feel like these characters need to be smart only when they feel like it. And they're allowed to be stupid just to get the plot going with more interesting stuff. Yeah, the new girl is so gonna die. I'm calling it. And I mean, now she's like walking quietly or whatever and looking around, but you already fell through and made a big thump and you kept yelling for like 2 minutes. If there were zombies there, wouldn't they've like come out already at you? Since they're like extremely easily attracted to noise. At this point, why the fuck are you still being like careful? What the fuck is this, Jennifer Aniston? Best and worst dressed celebrities. Oh, I fucking hate the modern day references from like before 2005 or whatever. So was the apocalypse supposed to have taken place, I think maybe 2003 or something? At which point Friends would have been a thing already, because the last season was like 2004 or something, I don't know. But still, that's so corny to me. So cheesy. I'm just cringing. Was that a fucking cat or a person? Looked like a person. Oh, this is a zombie? So wait, they can hide? They're smart enough to hide and stalk people. Or is it not a zombie? What the fuck is this? And it's about to jump out right now. Oh, is this her friend or something? She was like trying to help her find an exit or something, but then she got bit. Then how did she become like infected so fast or whatever? Well, let me just see if it's her first. I'm just assuming too much now. Okay, how is she not hearing its footsteps? It should make noise enough for her to be able to hear that it's behind her, like literally centimeters away. Whatever. Oh, okay, so it's not the friend. Okay. But apparently it can see, not just like via sound or visually. Is this like a person who's like infected but not completely, you know, like turned over, still alive, meaning? Or is it a full-blown zombie at this point? Because if it is, how is it seeing her? Is it using its eyes or something? Yeah, okay, so she heard it / sensed it right behind her, and she turns back and it's not there in literally like a second. How does it do it? And with no sound. I don't get this. Okay, and then it went to the side and attacked her from there, so she doesn't expect it. How does that happen? Yeah, it was just her, just one of them. And I mean, look at this. Just one of them, and supposedly a kid, was enough to bite you. How the fuck then do you assume that them being like 1 or 2 are safe for you to handle? Because apparently they aren't. Even one of them. and even a child is fucking dangerous. And yet you give this character the permission to be ballsy? I don't know, this just doesn't make sense to me. Also, this is like, is this like the US fucking Senate or something? It looks like a Senate hearing. Look at the fucking flags and the, oh my god. And the perspective of them being like interrogated by a jury. That's so stupid. And by the way, if this is a so-called survival camp with like regulations and rules for everybody, how is it not procedural? Once you get people from the outside and them reporting about being attacked, how do you not get like immediately get them naked, completely fully naked, to observe for bites, to make sure that nobody infected is in? See what I'm saying? In such a strict world, in this kind of an environment where you have to survive literally every day, how is this not a rule? How can they let something like this slip? Because if it were the real world, this would not happen. There would be like a giant fucking quarantine, interrogations, investigations. Not like this, real, actual one. Not a fucking jury at the fucking Apocalypse Senate. You would have people in costumes, protective gear, investigating every inch of the bodies of the ones who were attacked to check for bites and any signs of infection. And by the way, so she gets bitten, goes back to camp, but the thing is, she thinks she's immune because she got bit once before and survived. But how do you get the certainty that the second time is going to be fine too? What if it was just a one-off? And if you get bit again, you can get actually infected. Or maybe transfer to others. And with this knowledge of the potential danger, you come back to camp still? In my eyes, this makes you a little bit of a piece of shit, kind of like Joel. So I guess they're made for each other. So like, you don't have the capacity to take immigrants in, but you can spend electricity on fucking Christmas lights or party lights, whatever the fuck this is. Okay, whatever. And by the way, this music is a giant noise. So what if the fucking music that you want to have for your party attracts a giant horde of zombies? How is that not a danger? How is the US fucking Apocalypse Senate not taking the measure of being completely silent? Or at least not being overly loud for some fucking reason? I don't know, it's just stupid for me. Also, she just fucking stitched the wound, but like, how is it not bleeding through the fucking shirt? It's a fresh fucking wound. But oh wait, maybe she got a band-aid from somewhere, from an apothecary, from a pharmacy, because they probably have those in this type of fucking apocalypse. You got Christmas lights, you got psychologists, why not a fucking pharmacy with a band-aid? Let me guess, she's gonna dance around and the wound's gonna show. Let's see. Okay, so this is a bi reveal. All this time she was thinking she was straight and she liked her. And oh boy, do I know this fucking feeling. But now she reveals herself to be bi, opening up the path for her finally. Okay, I get it. It's a family event, so what, does that mean they can't kiss? What about a fucking wedding, when they kiss after the ritual? How do they kiss at the wedding because a wedding is a family fucking event? Or is it a problem at the family event because they're gay? Because wow, Republican right-wing bullshit. Oh, so it was about them being gay. Okay, so we're gonna be dealing with a little bit of a bigotry against them. Okay. Oh my god, is this gonna start a fire? Fire up the camp because of a fucking Bengali light or whatever? Oh, is this a mushroom in the fucking pipe that they were tearing open? Okay. Maybe a zombie? What the fuck is this? But it's certainly the mushrooms making their way in toward the living. Yeah. And who the fuck are those? Are those the people from like the graveyard in the beginning? That wanted revenge or something? They're gonna like just barge in and attack them? Which means like what, like we're roaming around for like 5 years to find them? Okay, yeah, it's them. How the fuck though does she know that Joel is in this encampment? I guess it could have happened. She found information somehow in these 5 fucking years of them roaming around. Anyway. So that was the episode. My thoughts? It was fine. Didn't like it that much. Didn't hate it that much. It feels, as it ever felt to me, unrealistic as an apocalypse story. But it's watchable, I guess. The acting's really good. I love it still. And I'll keep watching. Not just to milk it, but because I enjoy it generally. Anyways, I'll be back with the second one.